All right, welcome to the program. My name is Man Kota. You are watching the TPN TV and Radio Network, coming to you live from the United States of America. Today, they come back with more broadcasting in terms of this coronavirus. As we all see, the coronavirus still they destroy lives na the entire world, right? And we all know, say, now the United States here, we don't get about, how many? About 12,800 in American alone. And this broadcast is specifically about Africa, but at the same time, we try to interlace that with other parts of the world, like the United States and Europe and other parts of Asia, where this coronavirus is just devastating, right? And as we have seen at the bottom of the lower bottom of the screen, you see the current cases for each African countries, and I also add the latest cases for the global world. Almost globally, people don't infected with this disease. Almost they don't die. And during this program, what I get for do is I get for hold on, let me make sure people weigh the. I want to make sure. Okay. During this program, I will also want to talk about so many things we educative, statements or messages we all get for discuss. If you want to call me for be part of the program, all you need for do is just call that number where you see at the right side, just below the TPN logo. The number is 480-409-4001. That's not the number if you want to be part of this conversation. But as I said, I try for interlace between Africa and the rest of the world in terms of the coronavirus. So far, only 2 countries we not get coronavirus yet in Africa: Lesotho and the Comoro Islands. And we just have to congratulate them because that's not a very, very, very difficult, time this. So at this particular time, if your country up to now gets 0 cases, then that's actually good luck for you. Good news for the people of that country. So we want to congratulate the Comoro Islands and Lesotho. Because as of today, the 7th of April, they still get 0. Other countries then get more. Sierra Leone still gets at 6 so far. Now, we don't still get. And as we know, the country now in second day lockdown this today. And so far, it seems like the lockdown is going well. There are some skirmishes, Okay. Actually, I think 3 countries in Africa. I think Lesotho, Sao Tome is also 0. The one we see right now. So the lockdown of Sierra Leone so far, it looks like it's going well. There are some skirmishes we then reports. We just talk to the government for make them continue. Hold on, make sure. Okay. We just talk to the government for make them continue for, make sure they protect the people. This lockdown has nothing to do. This lockdown has nothing to do with brutality. As we all know, some of we supported the lockdown because that's not the right thing for do. But at the same time, we have to be concerned for make the police, some ruthless police them, we no get training for make them go after some people the way they don't, get beef with all them things. We know certain things that happen in Africa, right? We remember during the time of the Ebola, it happens too. Do you remember during the time of the rebel war? You get people the way they go to people, then go lie in company say this is not rebel because then get beef, way them don't get before. So some of these things, we not want for make the government pay attention, not to the people there right now, because so far majority of the people there right now, then they abide by the lockdown. But we really, we congratulate them. I'm congratulating the people of Sierra Leone because when you look at the videos the way they come in, you don't see nobody. So that's my congratulations to the people of Sierra Leone too. We want to congratulate them. Well, we also want to congratulate the government. Because the government actually declared this state of emergency. Okay? There are certain countries, even here in the United States, today, there are certain governors who still not believe, say, social distancing now something necessary here, an advanced country. So if the people of Sierra Leone take it upon themselves and say, you know what, this is not about the SLPP. This is not about an Madabio. This is about my own life. So I will stay indoors and will see the entire Freetown is just vacated. Very, very empty. The street is empty. So that's not a congratulations for them, Mr. Ajibuyalo. So that you understand? I'm not saying, yes, this is not a global something, but at the end of the day, we get for understand. Yeah, we get for understand, say, this is something, in fact, Liberia, I think Liberia right now, they get about, hold on, let me just say, Liberia almost then gets right now, about 14 cases right now in Liberia. Sierra Leone just gets 2. And look at the way people then cooperate with this, this lockdown. Tomorrow, the lockdown is done. And waiting at the next thing where the government get for do, we all get for take a look and monitor and see that we all abide by the rules. But one thing we have been talk, so I understand what they're trying to talk about, Mr. Ajibuyalo. Well, I congratulate them simply because, you know what? We they expect at this time every country in the world now supposed to forget COVID-19, right? So Lesotho, Sao Tome, and I think the Comoro Island still, now Africa still gets 0. If waiting, the statistics they show is true, then we need to congratulate them. For say yes, then I think then they do something. They are doing something that is preventing this disease from making its way in their own country. That's not I mean, David Vandy, welcome to the program. So these are some of the things that we really, Muksin Sisi, I get for talk to you actually. Maybe I don't know if you didn't have Freetown or still didn't, but I will want to talk to you. My brother. Welcome to the program. So what we try to talk about here is the fact that right now Freetown is vacated. The street of Freetown is completely vacated. That's not a very good sign for CS. The people of Sierra Leone take this disease seriously. We just want for make sure say the police where they patrol the streets, now that country make them not take advantage of this state of emergency, because we don't hear so many reports that some police then go beat some people them, and then people then are their hosts. Inside, if waiting and they tell you not true, then they are their hosts. But then they are veranda, so they want them for make them dead inside their own rooms. So then beat them. In fact, I watched at the video, one of the videos where I seen one of Bafa, I don't know. Then Bafaya when they make for sale, then broke them. So we have to be very careful on that. For say there is always going to be certain people within the police force. The police force is doing a good job, But there are always going to be certain people within the police force who want to take advantage of this, either because they get problem with that, what we call neighbor problems, then go want to take advantage of that, you know. But that's not in with the watch and make sure say that not happen at all, because the state of emergency not a public health emergency. So the police has to be very careful, you know. So what I want to talk to now today, yes, 2 days ago I come up with these statistics where they seen at the bottom of the screen when global, Africa, you know, statistics. I want to give you certain stuff here quickly. Hopefully we go able for. Okay, let me just bring this from the, let me start from the beginning here. Let's start from, yeah. So right now, what till we get na Sierra Leone, we get about 519 deaths na Sierra Leone. Sorry, na Africa. 519 deaths. We get 10,427 cases na Africa. 10,427 cases as of today, the 7th of April. Now, this is where I get a little bit of problem, you know, and let me just make sure, you know, let me remove first this for let us see who's I may get problem. Okay, let me stop this and do it one by one. Okay, this chart actually starts from the 7th of March, from last month, where they begin for gather statistics about Africa, the 7th of March to the 7th of April today, which is exactly 1 month. This is what we got. We get the hold on, let me just make sure I give you good statistics. I know one for make okay, this is what we get. We get the cases na 10,427. I already say that. The deaths na 519 cases, and the recovered people that were sick, the sickness na Africa and recover na 1,074. 1,074. And if you look at the percentage, when you do the calculation, out of 10,427 cases, now 5% now in, so the death rates na Africa with this virus now 5%. 5%. The recovery rate about 10%. Yeah. All right. Well, the calculation, is it correct? Okay. 10,000. Yeah, now 1% now in the recovered rate. Now 0.5, which is half of a percent now in the death rates na Africa. Half of a percent. Okay, I will make the calculation very quickly for now, because they are una help me on that. If you get 10,427 cases in Africa, then only about 519 cases. I think it's about 5%. Yeah, I think I'm correct here. It's about 5%, right? 5%. That's not the rate down there. And when you do a calculation, Let me come back to the screen. So when you do a calculation, so let's do calculation quickly. If you get 10,000, no. If you get 10,420, hold on. If you get 1,074 divided by 10,427 times 100, yeah, so I'm correct. It's about 10%. Now in the recovery rates for this coronavirus in Africa. When I remember today, just yesterday and today, when I see certain media reports saying this sickness they kill more Africans. Well, when they say African, they mean African Americans. Okay? They say this sickness they kill more Africans than other race. This is what we are hearing right now, right? In the United States. We don't know yet about the other side of the other part of the world. But in the United States, then say this sickness, they kill more African American than the other races. And there are certain, clues where some of the experts can get. Poverty, as we all know, and living conditions. You get also within they call, health conditions where people them don't get before the coronavirus. All then factors then say it might play a role. They are still trying to work why they kill more African American than any other race. When you look at that, you look at Africa. The reason what make I bring this chart today to let me bring back the chart. Okay, I think the chart is already here. Let me bring back the chart. The reason what make I bring this one today, I just want for let we all you know when they watch me and me when they talk, let we try for figure out, is there a differences between African American and African in America? In terms of region, in terms of other stuff? This is not an addictive conversation. It has nothing to do with trying to skew certain things. No, that's not the main intention here. I'm not trying to skew other stuff. I just want to see, because if there is already a data that shows in the United States of America that more African American are dead due to the coronavirus than other races, then let's take that statistics and compare that with African statistics. We get African statistics. This is not the good thing about technology, right? There's nothing we go hide per way. We get, now they show you so. We get the statistics for Africa. We get about 10,427 deaths in Africa so far. 10,427 cases in Africa. We get 519 deaths in Africa. The total, 519 deaths in Africa. And the total amount of recovery, the way they're sick, they recover totally, where they're free of the virus, now about 1,074. So that tells you we get about 8,000 that are actually right now under monitoring, or under quarantine with the sickness. I'm talking about as of today. This is live data. Okay? Let me take back. This now live data. Then they show you so. So what happened? Waiting now the genetic comparison where would they make between African American and Africa in America. I know say it look a little bit, I know it look a little bit funny, right? Waiting at the genetic comparison between African American and Africa in America, or African where they back home right now where the sickness are there, because we know say African in America they get the same genetic markup with Africans home. right? Maybe the African American, because of the longevity of their stay here, for over 440 something years or whatever. So maybe the genetic don't, get some kind of a dilution, which is totally correct, right? Because now you get where they say crossbreeding. So what are the differences? If we get about 5% of the disease, they get about in Louisiana, New Orleans, about 74% of the people that we seek the disease, they end up or die. 75% of African American end up or die. So these are some of the things that we just want to explain and understand and try to see how we go get some kind of lesson where we go able to learn from this and try to apply that to we people them back home and to we self when Africans them in here in the United States of America. So these are some of the things we talk about. Now I want to talk about another thing. As we are all seeing, this not to me make these statistics. This not to me make this data. This is a live data. I just get feeding from WHO directly to my TV. So anything where you see here, that's not to me maker. They are actually correct. Algeria get 1,423. Angola get 14 cases. All Benin gets 22. All the African countries different. But the good news is Sierra Leone still stays at 6. Well, good. Because one person says it's a bad news, right? But at least comparing to other African countries, like Cameroon gets 658 cases now, Cameroon. So you just look at that. When you get about 658 cases now your country, then there is a problem. So, but still, there are certain countries now, Africa, we still get lower. In fact, 3 countries, just like what has talked, Comoros, it gets 0. No case at all yet. Probably they will get later. But for now, I think they are doing a good job so far. Maybe we may want to call the Comoro Island and ask them how they manage for stay at 0 at this particular time. Maybe that's going to be able to help Sierra Leone and other countries. Them. Egypt gets about 1,322 cases in Africa. So if they see the curve, if they go up, small. We'll go see how this gets for end up in the coming weeks and so in Africa. The thing also where I want for discuss briefly is the global trending where I've been talking about earlier. When you look at the global trending, say 95% of the cases around the world, 95% of the cases around the world, now mild symptoms they get. 95%. That they tell you something about this virus for say, you can get this virus, you don't even know say you get this virus. That the reason this way, experts and say, stay home. Maintain social distance. Because you can get, even get symptoms at all. According to, the statistics here, 95% of cases globally has mild or no symptoms. Only 5% will get serious symptoms. 5% will get serious symptoms. And out of that 5%, 80% will get serious symptoms. 80% of them, 80% of them they end up for use ventilators, these breathing machines. And according to the experts, the more you stay long now these ventilators, the more likely you're not going able to come out from that ventilators in. That is very, very difficult. There's another statistics where I get from WHO. They get about 79% of people who seek this disease, they recover from the disease. 79%. It used to be 80 something percent, right? But the percentage is going down a little bit. So 79%, they end up for recover fully from the disease. The problem also where I see here is where still the expert not able to explain to we at this time, and they are still working on that. Waiting on the long-term effect of this disease. And there is some people that they speculate, say, oh, if you don't get this disease, you don't immune to the disease, so you don't get again. That's not speculation so far. That's not speculation. They don't get any concrete, studies where they prove, say, yes, if you get the disease today, next year or the year after, you don't will ever get it again. We don't see other diseases you get on this year. If you don't take vaccine, next year you'll get them back. So there is no kind of guarantee for say yes, which then they talk so not true. So these are some of the things we really want to explain to people there. Another thing where I want to explain to with people them. This mask. In fact, I talked to one of my brothers now Canada today before I come on the air. That's somebody we actually now then they deal with some of them masks here because they work in a place where then they use chemical, for that gas in Canada. They're one of the people they wait and they work, so then they use the mask very seriously. Another the advice where he talked to me where I see very, very seriously for say, well, this is serious. This is actually makes sense for people that will get bia. Bia at this time, cut you bia. If you want to use mask, just cut the bia. Okay? Because you go don't put the mask on top of the bia. All this air now you face, who knows? So it makes sense, right? For cut bia at this particular time. Not left you bia too long. Like I see one guy today in bia now so long so. I don't know how it go able to protect in face with that bia there. I don't really understand how you get for protecting the face. So these are some of the things where they talk about. Yeah. These are some of the things where they talk about. So we get more to learn from this disease, but there are many things where we don't already know so far about this disease. And my concern is how Africa will able to cope with this. Tomorrow, we will talk about the economic impact with a guest. Tomorrow, by God's power, we will talk about the economic impact in Sierra Leone with this disease, maybe in Africa also, with an expert we know more about economics. So, what's the economics impact on this? But like I said, we get 10,427 cases as of today. We get 519 dead in Africa. We get about 1,074 we don't recover from the disease. So that means we get about 8,000 or so more that are with this disease. It depends according to the countries. you know, there are certain countries that are going up the ladder very fast than other countries. Yeah. So if Liberia get 14, so Liberia now we neighbors. You know, so we know say during the time of the Ebola, now we neighbors them and it starts, then it come into the country. And it can be seen. The same thing with this coronavirus, now the same thing. It starts with the, well, now they first get time, now we get time. It don't necessarily mean it come up from them countries that they know. We have to be fair. The one way we don't get so far, I don't think say it much more for do with the neighboring countries. It could be other stuff. The first case we'll get, na France, it been go, it come, it quarantine. Then later, then can find out say he gets the disease. So these are some of the things we need for talk to with brothers and sisters back home for say, number one, this disease, you know a cure. As of today, there is no specific cure where then say this in the cure this disease. Yes, we heard Donald Trump they talk about chloroquine. Chloroquine, some of we born meet chloroquine. We don't use chloroquine so much for we malaria medicine, no, all those type of things, right? We don't use a lot of chloroquine. So we don't know whether that's even effective because the experts then say don't rush to judgments about chloroquine because they don't get any clinical studies where they will confirm say yes, chloroquine is effective. Yes, maybe it will cure one person, another person, they cure, and that's not the way experts then they look at things. They cure one or two people, they say, oh, this is effective. It can be global, right? So we don't know yet. And there are other few techniques where the experts and they use, where probably in Africa, the only way if chloroquine is good, maybe in Africa, because Ibokuna Africa, right? Because chloroquine was actually meant for Africa. Yeah. Chloroquine was meant for Africa. So we get them. My only concern is if it effective, make the people the way they sell chloroquine, make them all skyrocket the price. Like waiting to happen now with other countries that about chloroquine. So you see, but we'll not get any authentic confirmation for say yes, chloroquine actually the savior for this disease. And we cannot do much. So what they do right now, now self-protection. Stay home. When they go outside, wear a mask. We say avoid in this country. The experts then say from this week now to next week, it have to be very difficult. And you have to be very careful. Stay home. Just stay home. Then 2 weeks here, you have to stay home. Some of you don't stay home, and the 3 weeks so with the carry go so we stay home. Now home with the work. After I work, I can have a small studio. I broadcast for make I able just give some information to people them. But the best way right now we get for do the best protection is stay home. Every Sunday I used for go play soccer. Every Sunday. Now they are the exercise, right? And it helped me so greatly. But because of this corona, the past 2 weeks I'm not going outside. I didn't have my house. Because I get family. And when you go out, you don't know whether they go meet up. You don't know that person whether they don't meet up before he can meet you. And you don't know what's the condition of them people then. So it's the same thing whether you are in the United States, you are in Europe, or you are in the diaspora, or you are in Sierra Leone. The requirements is the same. Stay home. I know say in Sierra Leone, in Africa in general, it is very, very difficult. I don't think say they go able for stay home for a very long time. I believe so that make the government they try for slice the lockdown, make 3 days for now, and maybe it's time for make another 3 days after a few few weeks or so. If then see say the cases they go up, they make another 3 days or so. But so far it's wonderful. The people of Sierra Leone are very much proud of Una. And I have been talking before yesterday, before the lockdown. Sierra Leone now people they were law abiding people there. The problem we get is, and we would make ourselves not abide by the law. All right, now just give me 1 minute. Let me just put something here. The problem where people then get us alone, where sometimes they're not can abide by the law, because the people the way they put the law, that the people the way they first broke the law. And just imagine you know somebody where you don't put the law, then I know the first person where they broke the law. How you will expect an ordinary person for make abide by that law? Then, if the people the way put the law, they hold the law, and everybody go hold the law, right? And look at what happened yesterday and today. Imagine Sani Abacha Street. Just imagine that place there. When I been the last time when I go there, if you like wait and say, the way people there they choke na that street there. Today now they see it clear. They see nobody. Now only one or two police them or army man there now they see no one on the street. They see nobody. That's wonderful. That's very, very great. So let's continue to do that, and let's make sure. We prepare, because the problem with Salone and Freetown in general, water now one of the biggest problems the way they get. And I see say yesterday and today, I did see some water tanker them, motoka them, then they go around for give water. But to be honest with you, looking at Freetown at this time, most of them tanker then they the main road then they no more. Right? Because most of the road, the inner roads them, some of the roads and the motoka they able to access, big motoka they access there. So mostly like the main roads then they no more with them tanker then they. But it's okay. It's okay. I know say it's very difficult. The condition of living is very, very difficult, but at the end of the day, your life is more important than the condition of living. Just like what I talked the day before yesterday, before you defend a living, you have to live first. So that's always the case. If you cannot live, you cannot defend a living. You're not able to defend a living, right? So these are some of the things where we'll get for look into the back and say, okay, I think this is not about waiting policeman wants for make we do, or this is not about waiting the government want for make I do. This is about my own life. This is about me. So, great. Very, very great. Well, tomorrow, we get economic experts where they can tell you about the impact. What he thinks na inge forbid the impact of the coronavirus in Africa, Sierra Leone in general. How we go able for start preparing, because like I said earlier, this fight is more than just the disease. The disease already don't cause problem at the entire world, right? You already don't know that. But right now, as we defeat the disease, let's also look at beyond the coronavirus disease, wetin are the disaster, the after effects of the disease. So they bring in tomorrow an expert where they can tell you wetin are the indicators where you don't see so far in Africa. Sierra Leone in particular, a country where depend on donor funds. Now, the donors themselves don't get their own problem. How this therefore affect Salone people them, the poor, the ordinary man, na street way just want for living life with this economic disaster we therefore come. I've been giving an advice to President Madabio. This is the time now is supposed for start for put together a group of well-qualified economists them. This is not the time where you get for put them, economic experts, for make them able for start for good they look at, let them start for good they work on waiting at the contingency planning form after the coronavirus. The coronavirus get for done. They're done. Right? They wipe out the entire world. We know that. And they wipe out Sierra Leone. Yes? There may be some people there who get for Sierra Leone just like any other countries, but you're not going to be able to wipe off that country there. That's not going to happen. Sierra Leoneans, now people, they were very, very resilient. But waiting for happen after the corona done. Waiting at the economic impact where people then get for go through. A government that is very, very, foresighted. Now some of them then so begin for take a look at. For people like the APC government during the Ebola, people like Ajibu Jalo, that make they laugh while they talk because waiting past them the APC government during the Ebola and after the Ebola, that one he handicap the APC. He really handicapped the APC. In fact, Ajibu Jalo in the economy program, then get one program where they end up for make how they call her Ajibu Jalo waiting at the program. I don't forget. They say expenditure rationalization, right? I remember when Ajibu Jalo Kanami program, Mr. Kabu. he said, call no call so that's not to say it be, So now they laugh, right? But it was very, very serious. Because this is about the living condition of the people, So Malabio, if not a good leader, and now is supposed to take a lesson from the APC government and use them. And I think saying a very, very foresighted person. Because I see during the corona, he called some of the APC people that will be involved in the Ebola for make them come, explain, and try for work together and see how they will be able to utilize their own experience. That's not so a good leader supposed to do, So I hope he is not blindsided by It's not blindsided by the corona alone and forget about the other side of the problem. That is the after effects of the coronavirus. All right? So these are some of the things we want for make President Bio also tackle. Like I say, I'm an engineer, right? I know what in a multitasking. You do multiple things at the same time. So, then the other thing I really want to discuss is, when are we going to start for create a local economy that is insulated from the global economy? I'm not saying detach, because the economy of every country is dependent on another country. So it's global interrelations. That's not what I'm saying. But at least if the economy of the global economy gets some problem, you still function as a country. That's what I'm trying to say. You still function as a country. And this is the time when the government of Sierra Leone need to think about this. And one of the things where some of you know born age with the area about, I don't really understand. I remember during the time of Tijan Kaba, I understand say the Indian they send a lot of tractors there. That's alone doing it in the day. In fact, it was true because me brother buy one of the tractors. So what did they do? They just shape unto themselves, then sell the one the way they're supposed to sell, and But before some of we born, we be about the good ideas like making state farm. I'm not talking about the insurance. State farms are farms where probably people them they talk say the government actually creates state farms by districts. Then state farms and they like rice, because rice is our staple food, right? We get the land. The land is already there. The land is there. Maybe Mr. Ajibujalo will able to tell you why APC government, the SLPP government of Tijan Kaba, the APC government of Anesbo Ikoroma, and even now today, the SLPP government of Madabio not focus on that. I think Madabio, they say they try to get some people, some companies, where they can, do farms. Okay. If that is the case, that's fine. But the best local economy, we go able for sustain the country in crisis like this, or global economic crisis. Now, things like the rice. If people then get what they eat, then go able to sustain our house for 1 or 2 weeks, right? If they get what they eat. People then go able to stay in our house for some time. And I think say that now the best way for build a local economy that will, continue moving the country forward, while the world is in economic crisis. If we get enough rice, enough food in the country, which we can do it, right? Now the will we not get. We not get the will. We get the ability to do it, but we don't have the will. So this now a way for try for create a local economy where then go able insulate himself from global crashes. Like what they can get so. The United States is now right now, in fact, America is planning to pump another $250 billion into the economy because they say the 2-point-something trillion so far where they don't put is not enough. In fact, other economic experts are saying, actually, if America wants to stabilize the economy, they have to put in about $4.5 trillion into the economy. Who's will get for pull that one day? Salon, I must go one for pump now the economy. Where go able to stabilize the economy. We not get that. We not get the money. We not get the money. So big people and tell we say it is better for somebody to teach you how to fish rather than giving you fish all the time. I think this way, people then they tell you. And if you look at that, not true, because what will happen when that person will they give you fish, you're not able to go fish, you're not able to get fish. Right? So Africa need for start for good they do things for themselves. Madabio, don't travel. And this is not politics at all. This is reality. What are they try for do so for? Let we all understand why it is very, very important for start for good to build local economics economies. Madabio don't travel a lot of time, right? Since we can power 2 years ago, right? But tell me, how many local economies local businesses we don't design and we don't implement in that country today? With all the travel. The travel is great because you're going out there to get investment and come. But investment again, depend whether the country is the way they go, they not get problems. Or the companies them way in other countries and they are okay. Because no company know the way they get problem, then he left what they do in your own country where they get more money for going to a place like Salon for going to invest there. Yeah, maybe. But it's very, very rare, right? So the first thing where we get for do as a country is for make we try to build this local economy, bringing stuff. You know, I know we still have a long way to go, right? Because the way the world on it today, the world today is a world of technology, right? And when you look at the educational system of the country today, you know, the technical know-how, most of the Sierra Leoneans, the way get technical know-how, they are outside of the country. I'm not saying the one in the country, they don't get technical know-how, but when you talk about advanced technology, where we're able to bring things and make things easy for society, most of them people they're outside of the country. You know. So when Tijan Kaba came to power, and Ernest Kuruma came to power in 2007, he do one thing where it been really, really great. Trying for encourage the diaspora for make the able encourage them for make them go invest in the country. And he go to the extent he opened a diaspora office. The unfortunate part, you know, during the time of Ernest Kuruma, I think Ernest Kuruma get all the good people, the people they will understand, we get, you know, the foresightedness, we get the ideas for make a government succeed. Ernest Kuruma been get all them people then there. Open a diaspora economy, a diaspora office, which was one of the best way for influence the diaspora. And even go to the extent, if you have to go to a salon, for go invest, for go stay in a salon, you container, your first container where they send, now free, you know they pay for them in the country. It was very great, right? But one thing where they destroy Africa, Sierra Leone in particular, greed. Greed, very, very important. If we not stop the greed, we will always be behind, we will always suffer. In fact, there was a time after the 2012 election, you know, towards 2013, before the Ebola, and after the Ebola, that diaspora office, I don't think say it been even functional because we'll not be the area about that office day again. We'll not be the area about that office day. There were people who actually be one for go invest in Africa. Then when we talk certain, greedy people them, we been there some of them offices them. So the most corrupt person in a salon, the civil servants. Very, very corrupt because they know the system. They know how then they quiz you No matter what you do, you're not going to be able to come up. They're very, very corrupt. I know some guys that will been do some kind of visibility studies and try for invest, do other stuff, one for bring people the way they go invest at the country. Then people then how they end up for do. Then go, then hold them documents, then delay them because then believe say, then people they not go, they forever, then go left. The money where they go with, they don't. These are some of the greedy tactics where Sierra Leone then get. When I look at Ghana today, I'm not talking about Nigeria. Because Nigeria now is superpower. You go talk to Nigeria man, a crook man, but he's smart. Well, from where I get sense now, I know say Nigeria prefer for thief outside for bring inside our own country. Now Nigeria man get that habit there. If a thief from outside, he bring our own country. What? Sierra Leonean, if a thief from in country, he cannot go outside. And he go bank that money they pay tax, and at the same money the way they take, then they send back na salon with heavy taxes, then they go borrow we your money. So these are some of the things. So we have to start looking into localizing our economies. If you want for make you sustain, you want for be a country, you want for live as people, we not rely too much on outside world. These are some of the things where our leaders are supposed to do. And this coronavirus, again, for expose with vulnerability more. And guess what? Just like what I talked then this year, there are already vultures out there waiting for the coronavirus for to be done. Then begin fly into the country, into Africa, for go exploit Africans. Because you know why? We don't get local economies. Where would they depend on? We're not. We are not. So I don't talk for over an hour now. So I just want for end the broadcast today. Before I end the broadcast, I just want for make a programming reminder. Tomorrow we'll get somebody who they can tell you about the economic impacts of this coronavirus. One of the frustration where I get, the SLPP governments now put their way they afraid the media too much, especially diaspora media. By this time, I remember during the time of the APC government, during the time of Ebola, almost every time, government officials like Ajibu Jallo, Abdoulaye Berete, and other folks, then they come for try for explain Miata Kabo, then they come na the diaspora program like the TPN for explain to the diaspora, because they value the diaspora for say the diaspora they play a great role na the stability, the development of that country there. So this government is a little bit shy, and I don't know why, because number one, then come now a time when social media is in its peak. And I don't know whether the SLPP government knows say, when it comes on social media, the diaspora is very, very influential. Okay? Most of the things the way they happen on social media, the diaspora and then they influence them. So you as a government, if you know they catch up with social media, especially when it comes to information, you will end up drowned. You will end up drowned. And this is the reason why SLPP is drowning in terms of information dissemination. They are drowning. Because they are very shy of social media. or the media, especially the diaspora media. I remember at the time when President Madabio being not being be president yet. Now one of the people that we in the economy program try for reach out to the diaspora. And I hope you go think about that for say yes. At the end of the day, the diaspora is very, very influential in terms of information dissemination. Need for go dey allow in officials and make them go dey talk to, because what make them like more the local media, because the local media is easily bought. We know that, right? The local media is easily bought. So they're not afraid them because they're at their own pocket. But the diaspora media, you're not going to be able to come and tell me, say they can bribe me for waiting. For nothing. And so the question why they ask you, now question where they benefit the population, the people of Syria. Maybe they can question them. That make them afraid for kind of the diaspora media. Then local media as them. But I tell you one thing. The diaspora, now then they influence information, that's alone. Because nowadays, most Sierra Leoneans in the country are more attached to social media. And most of them then trust the diaspora. So even if not lie somebody say, by the time we remember that information, it don't scatter everywhere in the country. And as it don't begin scatter some, it begin going at them villages them. Now so information now they scatter. So any government where they shy away from social media, that government is doomed. Then they drown you. That make SLPP is drowning. To be honest with you, SLPP is drowning. When it comes information dissemination, so far the APC was very, very good on that. I'm not saying this because I'm an APC. I'm saying this because I was part of the information dissemination within the APC. And I control, if not the most popular media, the diaspora. So I know exactly that make people like Tambasam, the late Tambasam. He was so good in terms of finding ways for sending information. Tambasam now been frequent guest in this program before he died. But this batch of SLPP, you can call somebody say, "Bra, not of us. I don't want to come over. I don't want for go say something the way they give me, they put me in trouble." Some of them, that's what they say. That's what they say. Well, and what you get for doing that if you're not able to communicate with your people them? You're afraid for communicate with your people them? Is that the way you govern? No, I don't think so. They have to change that behavior because they are living in the 21st century. A generation way very, very savvy in terms of information dissemination, information technology. You have to catch up with that. The SLPP has to catch up with that. Okay? I hope then they watch this broadcast, so let them think. A lot of good information I talk today now this broadcast where they help the SLPP. If not people the way get sense. If not people the way want for for govern that country there with ease and success. A lot of information where I put now will be able to help them. But probably they will see don't just know. And say then diaspora then for talk no more. And then NEPA. Well, some of we not talk what they do. But anything where they come on our mouth, it makes sense. We know other people the way just they talk because he just want for talk, he just want for make the error on social media. During this time of the APC, everything where they tell the APC, we end up for SIA. So now the same thing with the SLPP. If not listen, if I'm phone now. If I not listen, if I'm phone now. You know. But I think the most important is the country, the people, Sierra Leoneans. Because if we not fail, it's not only fail. Yes, we the boot out of the power. But what about the consequence of our failure to the people who want to govern, the people of Sierra Leone? So that make every Sierra Leonean way patriotic, way want to see a better Sierra Leone, should always try to advise the government in power with the right advice. Yes, we criticize when if we do the wrong thing, and when I say people like Man Kotas, we're not afraid for criticize anybody. That's what me do. Me party when I'm me party, they know me say I know they afraid for tell them the truth. They already don't understand me for say yes, Man Kotas so. But at the same time, I know they just criticize because I want to criticize. No, that's not the way I do things. When you do wrong, I criticize you and show you what if we've been better. That's how I criticize. So when I think about this, okay, it's very, very important because we want for make una succeed, because if una succeed, Sierra Leone succeed. If Sierra Leone succeed, we within the diaspora also succeed, because you know what? It is lessen the burden way a lot of we they get from back home. For we send $200, $300, $400, $500 a month. If the country is okay, that money they make a lot of difference within my own family here, right? But how? You know, go one for do while you brother, you sister, you auntie, you mama, you daddy, they are not the struggle. They call every night. You know, go one for do right? So there is always an interconnection between the success of Sierra Leone and we own, restart. Now, yeah, now the diaspora. Now that make no one foresee make any government with the end fail. Because if we fail, the burden they fall on we. We want to the diaspora. Well, some of we mature for make we able understand that. Some of we get responsibility back home. Because not everybody gets responsibility back home. You know, but some of we get them responsibility then they. I always want for any government within a power, whether an APC, SLPP, PMDC, NGC, or whatever political party, for make it succeed. There is a time for politics. Politics get a time. When the time reach, we go play politics. This is very, very clear. We all they go, we pull, we patriotic heart. We go play politics. But now, let's all come together. Let's make sure the country succeed. When the country succeed, we all they succeed. We people then they succeed. So now this I just want for talk to you now today. Tomorrow, like I said, I guess we can talk about the economic impact. Maybe I will bring another person after him. We'll still deep and talk about that, or maybe next tomorrow they bring the other person there. But for tomorrow, I guess we want to talk to you about the economic impacts of the country. So if I reach Naya tonight with all the good comments and likes and laugh, I just want to thank you now for for watching some of the nonsense where they talk. Hopefully we're not able to benefit from the nonsense. Yeah. Because we live in a society today, we live in a world today where we interconnected one way or the other, right? We are interconnected. There is no way where we're not able to work together. Politics is not about enmity. I always talk this with my folks them. Politics is not about enmity. Politics is an art, right? When you look at politics today, now a battle of ideas. You know, go say, because you're not SLPP, so therefore I want to make you die, I want to make you get corona, I want to make you do this. At the end of the day, it's your brother. That person where they wish say for make you get corona because na SLPP or because na APC, now your brother Sierra Leonean. Let's project or portray ourselves in that patriotic way. Let's also understand, say, at the end of the day, you know what? It only takes one person. One person. Forget a contagious disease like corona. Now the country. For make the entire country shake. So let's pray to the one that let's pray for the one that way gets this disease, for make God cure them. The one that way they not get the disease, for make them be very safe. These are some of the things where they do. Okay. Yeah, I know say it's very difficult in the age of social media. Everybody they come with their own behavior. We all come up from different upbringing, right? I get my own behavior where my mama and my daddy or my parents they learn me with. So when I did in public, now that one that they portray, especially in social media. Most of the time, social media, most people they don't see you, they don't understand you. Now what you they put na social media, what you they talk, your voice na it represents who you are. Na social media, your voice is a representation of who you are. It is a pictorial view of your upbringing. Now that make it very, very important for making know what you say now a public like social media. A lot of people they don't understand social media. Now a very, very dangerous tool. A great tool for communication. But it could also be very, very dangerous. It will destroy you very easily. You don't know. You think same people don't like me, right? Because when they pull out certain mischievous audios or videos, they see everybody, they forward them videos and in WhatsApp, YouTube, Facebook. You think you are doing a good job. No, you are not doing a good job. One thing I know about social media, I'm an expert in social media. Okay? I'm an expert. So I know what they talk about. One thing I learn, people that are actually sending, you know, if you do bad, you know, your conscience is telling you. You very well know that, yes, what I'm doing is not good. Your conscience don't ever lie by you. So, but because of the ego, the urge for make you become popular, no matter what's the consequence, you begin to make some of them misguided, mischievous, materials here. Begin saying that they see somebody take them, he forward them. There will be a time when you get for sit down one day and say, you know what? I wish I will not have done this. Yeah. No. And anybody we get plan for a bright future. Anybody we get plan for tomorrow, for a better tomorrow. Now you get for that image. Now you get for build that structure there. So let's be careful, okay? Let us all be careful and make sure we are doing the right thing. Social media is something where, very, very tempting. Very, very, very tempting. Okay? Again, at the left now, with the saying, Africa must survive. Sierra Leone must survive. And the survival of Sierra Leone depends on me and you. You way they watch me way they talk, and the one way they watch me after this broadcast, all will get responsibility for make Sierra Leone how we want time for make it be. And this now a defining moment for that we all come together, rally around, and against each other, no matter what are the differences. Okay? I thank you very much. May God bless we all. Good night.